Hi, we are Group 7 of the research study on the effects of a high-protein ketogenic diet on hunger and appetite in obese men fitting ad libitum. With the global rise in obesity has come an intensive search for effective weight loss strategies. Studies have found that protein is the macromolecule that is preferred for dieters who want to stay in the regimen, as a high intake of protein promotes weight loss and increases fat-burning capabilities. However, there are some studies that note that there is no significant difference in weight loss outcomes with different forms of protein. Such diets have become popular with dieters, but as yet there is no consensus as to how they promote intakes below energy requirements. To date, however, the data from direct comparisons of high-protein ketogenic diets and high-protein medium carbonate non-ketogenic diets in studies in which the diets have been completely controlled and the subjects have acted as their own control are too few to allow adequate assessment of the effects on hunger. To compare LC ketogenic to a MC non-ketogenic diet in obese men ad libitum with the responses of their bodies, the study seeks answers to the following components: average daily ad libitum energy, daily hunger, appetite, and pleasantness, and body weight and composition.
Let's follow this flowchart to easily track the progress of the study. First, the researchers were able to non-randomly gather 20 men of 20 to 65 years of age with a body mass index of greater than 30 by posting about their study in a newspaper advertisement. The participants were screened, underwent multiple medical examinations, and their doctors were contacted to confirm their suitability for the study. During the study, the participants lived in the Human Nutrition Unit for monitoring. They used a within-subject crossover design where the order of the treatment was randomized for each participant. The food intake was measured by weighing the food before and after consumption to see if there were leftovers. Before undergoing the diet, they first underwent a maintenance period for 3 days, where their meals have a proportion of 13% protein, 30% fat, and 57% carbohydrates. After the 3 days of maintenance, the subjects were assigned either LC or MC diet plan and were asked to eat ad libitum up until the 31st day. After the first ad libitum period they underwent a maintenance period for 3 days. After this, the subjects then switched their diet from MC to LC and vice versa, and began their second ad libitum feeding period, which lasted up until day 62. The subjects underwent their last maintenance period from days 63 to 65. For the calculation of the energy content of the diet in the form of macromolecules, the researchers used McCann's and Widowson's composition of foods. For the LC diet, they determined that 30% protein, 4% carbohydrates, and 66% fat is the best proportion, while a 30% protein, 35% carbohydrates, and 35% fat proportion was calculated for the MC diet. The meals have a consistent energy density content of 5.5 mg per kilograms and are in a fixed 400 grams portion with a total of 2,198 kilojoules of energy with the LC diet and 2,197 kilojoules of energy with the MC diet. The snacks have a 150 grams portion. The subjects were also given a variety of meals to pick from and even have the option to request meals that are not on the menu. To measure the energy and nutrient intake of the subjects, the researchers used the WIN diet software.
Before the experiment, the height of the subjects was measured. During the experiment, the variables weight, abdominal and hip circumference, resting metabolic rate, and blood pressure were all regularly measured. Before the test, the subjects were asked to fast for 10 hours overnight and to avoid caffeine or smoking. Then at the beginning and end of each phase of ad libitum, the same variables were measured. The questionnaire of the assessment of appetite was in a line scale format. The subjects rated their appetite from not at all hungry to extremely hungry. They used the visual analog scale to assess the pleasantness of the meals 15 minutes after eating by rating them from extremely unpleasant to extremely pleasant. The hospital anxiety and depression scale was used to assess the mood of the subjects at the beginning and end of each diet period to determine self-reported influences on eating behavior and mood. To measure the body composition, they used a 4-compartment model and air displacement whole body plethysmography to measure body density and deuterium dilution to measure the total body water of the subjects. They use a hierarchical, ANOVA, and GenStat to analyze the variables.
The figure 1 shows the plot of average daily ad libitum energy intake for the LC ketogenic diet presented by the circle and the MC non-ketogenic diet presented by the square. The average ad libitum energy intakes of the 17 subjects over 4 weeks were significantly lower with the LC ketogenic diet with 7.25 energy intake than with the MC non-ketogenic diet with 7.95. Diets were isoenergetic, which meant that the subjects consumed significantly more food, including more protein and carbohydrate, but significantly less fat with the non-ketogenic diet than with the ketogenic diet.
Table 1 states that the diets did not differ in pleasantness, while the second graph displays the plot of mean daily hunger as assessed in the visual analog scale, with consumption of the LC diet and the MC diet. Over the 4-week period, the 17 subjects felt significantly less hungry while following the LC ketogenic diet than the MC non-ketogenic.
For the third objective, Table 3 shows the average measured change in body weight and composition, which represented in kilograms, with the studied diets of the 17 subjects during the 4-week period of both ketogenic and non-ketogenic diet. Lastly, the graph shows the plot of mean of daily body weight in kilogram with consumption of the LC ketogenic diet and MC ketogenic diet in the 17 subjects. It is shown that weight loss during the 4-week period was significantly greater with the ketogenic diet than with the non-ketogenic diet, with 6.34 kilograms and 4.35 kilograms respectively.
Significantly greater weight loss in the LC diet than the MC diet was only 35% accounted for by the water depletion. The remainder of the difference was mainly by fat and some lean mass. These additional losses probably are associated with the 0.7 lower energy intake with the LC diet than the MC diet.
We are now down to the last part of our presentation, which is the conclusion. The results of the study show that a high-protein, low-carbohydrate ketogenic diet induces reduced hunger and lower food intake and is better for weight loss, while a non-ketogenic diet shows a higher hunger rate and more food intake than a ketogenic diet. Moreover, a non-ketogenic diet can still induce weight loss, but it is not as effective as the ketogenic diet. Pleasantness did not differ for the two diets. Once again, we are Group 7 and we thank you for listening.